we believe it did.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a reason xenophobia is going around China. And here's the deal. I want you to put this in your head real quick. Do you go to your school in America and learn about how bad Chinese people are? Do you go turn on the TV, whether it be the news or whatever, and watch a news story about how evil Chinese people are? Is there an entire curriculum and force in your government, no matter where you are in the world, to tell you how bad Chinese people are? Or, on the contrary, do you have news programs that talk about the human rights abuses in China because of the government? Or do you come to a YouTube channel like this where we champion the rights and freedom of Chinese people to show that they are victimized by their own government? Is there not a clear separation between criticizing the Chinese government, who are the perpetrators of this violence and horrid things against Chinese people, and then the actual Chinese people themselves? Is there not a clear delineation? Because there is, right? There's a very clear delineation here. And there's a reason that's being done. It's not to do the right thing. It's because that's correct. That is actually the difference. You have innocent Chinese victims and you have an evil, horrible authoritarian government. No one walks around. I'll put it to you this way. Have you ever met anyone walk around and be like, damn, I hate North Korean people? No, people see them as the victims under a tyrannical government. China's the same.
You can say I hate North Korea, but you're talking about the government. And
correct.
The country as being run by the government.
Correct. Does anyone go, man, I really hate those victims under Pol Pot that all got genocided? No, of course not, right? You hate Pol Pot and you hate the Cambodian regime that put people through that, right?
Yeah.
China's the same, right? We're looking at a government, tyrannical government, that has 1 billion victims under its umbrella, right? So you have to understand that China, what they do on their media, in their education, I've translated their entire textbooks and gone through, are teaching their children from very young age that China is not only superior to the rest of the world and that they are special, but more importantly, that America and Americans are evil and bad and should be killed.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, right?
Correct.
You have to understand when the foreign media press in China goes out there, the foreign ministry, and they go out there and they make their speeches.
Yeah, like, oh, this isn't going to hurt like China-America relations.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because you've done this.
Yeah.
You've put this seed in people's heads, and I just wanted to play some excerpts so you can get an idea what goes on in the Chinese education system, then you'll understand.
They can say whatever they want, but here's proof.
Tell me this happens in American schools, because you can't.
Yeah.
用一句话证明你是中国人。
如果心眼有颜色，那一定是中国红。
请用一句话证明你是中国人。
愿与吾辈之青春，捍卫盛世之中华。我们不过平安夜，不过圣诞节，我们只过中国节。
请用一句话证明你是中国人。
犯我中华者，虽远必诛。
Yeah, I like that particular line over there. Whoever, sorry, we'll get there. Sorry.
中国节。
请用一句话证明你是中国人。
犯我中华。
Whoever offends our China will be punished, even if they're far away.
者，虽远
That's
必
one
诛。
to take away. What is that saying?
This is the curriculum. Some excerpts from the textbooks I translated. You can check out my video at some point. But just have a look at this.
Yeah, got something else coming up here. This is the kind of thing you see on everywhere you go, all these slogans, political slogans about how amazing
the
Communist Party is and how terrible the West is and how terrible other countries are.
开始。那你最讨厌的国呢？
Yeah, so it's probably bears for us to read what this little boy is saying. You know, what is going on here? The instructor asks, or the teacher asks, "What about the country you hate the most?" Oh, so it's obviously, what country do you hate the most? He's like, it's the U.S. It's the U.S. and Japan.
You see that kid chimes up in the background to help him with the answer, because he's drilling the answer. It's not like, what is your opinion? The kid in the back's like, oh, it's America.
Yeah.
Right? You're supposed to say it's America.
Yeah. Yeah, it's America and Japan. Yep.
这么讨厌啊？为
You hate them so much. Why?
什么呢？
Imagine teaching your little, like, I don't know, they look 3, 4 years old, to stab, straw men.
The foreign ministry in China, this just really blows my mind.
Yeah.
And I remember, you're not supposed to see this kind of stuff, right? They want the domestic public. Where do you think, just out of curiosity, right? I'll give you guys a good example. When I took my students on a summer camp trip, to a ship. It was like an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
There was a thing where you could pay money,
Mhm.
and the kids could use a bayonet
Yeah.
and stab American soldiers, which look like stereotypes with big noses,
Sure.
right? Or shoot them with airsoft.
Yeah.
Where do you think you are taught to hate Americans and want to stab them? It's just a wild guess.
Yeah. Just a wild guess.
Do you literally have educational programs set up to stab Americans in Japanese? Because, oh, wait, yes, you do.
You do.
That's where you learn to stab Americans.
Yes.
All right?
Imagine teaching your toddlers to stab people and jump on grenades.
Based on their nationality.
Yeah.
This is what China's getting right. So, like, you listen to their foreign ministry talking about the peace of everything, how China's peace, and they don't instigate everything.
Cooperation.
The Chinese government's literally teaching kids this right now.
So it's like, what do you want to do when you grow up? This is that. Yeah, this is that little kid again. What do you want to do when you grow up? Kill. I want to kill the Japanese. Want to kill the Americans. Okay, is that proof or not?
This is the curriculum.
This
in
is the
China
curriculum
right now.
So, if you're teaching your little fat boy here that killing,
Not his fault.
Yeah, but if you're teaching him to kill Americans and kill Japanese, and that's okay. Imagine in class you say that, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? Oh, I want to kill, whatever, insert any country nationality there. I'm pretty sure anywhere else in the world, in a reasonable country, the teacher would be horrified and probably call the parents and have a little chat.
Yes.
About,
again, where in America are they teaching kids to kill Chinese people? Because you know what they're teaching them? How to celebrate Chinese New Year.
Yep.
How to make paper lanterns.
Yes.
How to welcome new students, new arrivals from China, give them a hug, and make them feel like they belong.
Yes, and we know
that's
that.
what they learn in American schools.
Yes.
Do not listen to this absolute bullshit nonsense that pisses me off beyond belief, because this is what China's teaching their kids.
Yeah. This is what China's teaching the kids. And we know, look, we both have young kids in school, and they are so accepting here in America of other cultures. It's insane. I learn about a new culture every week, a new festival from a random country every bloody week here, because my kid learns it in school.
And that's awesome.
And like random words in random languages.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think so. But in China, they learn to want to kill the Japanese and the Americans.
Yeah.
So,
and this is not the kid's fault. This is the curriculum.
When this guy grows up, what's he going to do?
And the parenting.
Yeah, what's he going to do? He's going to spot some foreigners in a park and stab them. That's what's going to happen. That's what's happening. Let's see if there's some more going on here. Let's see. This, by the way, very recent. Children's Day was only, about 2 weeks ago in China?
Like
this is the play they put on for Children's Day. I thought maybe we'd just show everyone. I'll get us out of here.
This is what you learn in China.
Yeah. I mean, can we just describe what's going on here?
This stuff pisses me off so
Dude.
much, dude. It's so full of hatred. It's so insane and double standard hypocrisy.
I mean, how old are those kids? 5, 4?
Probably
4 or 5 years old. What do they do on Children's Day? They do a play about murdering people, about shooting people on the ground continuously.
Well, they have like violent cartoons in the background.
Yeah. Of guns being held to kids' heads and stuff.
You see how ridiculous this is?
This is China.
This image that you're getting from Chinese propaganda about this peace-loving, want to cooperate and stuff, this is what they're doing in their authoritarian curriculums.
This is not some random little school in the countryside. No. This is big. Look at the stage.
This happens a lot.
This is Children's Day. I've seen this with my own eyes. I mean, it's so prevalent in Chinese society, this whole teaching to hate and kill and murder thing. I remember even going to the Christmas party at Tencent, the big company that makes all the games and stuff, Genshin Impact and all that crap that they're involved in. And in their big presentation, they had something like this where they shot a bunch of Japanese people dressed as Japanese people as part of a big New Year's end of the year celebration. They're murdering people on stage. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah. There's so much hate.
Yes.
And the unfortunate thing is that they're teaching young children to hate specifically Japanese, but also Americans these days. And this is going to lead to something bad. This permeates all of society. And so you will get certain people, vulnerable people that are in a bad place in their life, that are full of hatred and despair, who are going to lash out. And because the government has told them to hate Americans and foreigners so much, they're going to target them.
Yeah, I mean, like when a kid says, one time I felt so much hate that my nose bled.
Yeah.
You taught them that.
Yes. Why are you teaching a young child to hate?
Yes.
You know, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know, that's not what humanity is all about. You know? So again, when you see people saying this isn't a foreign attack against foreigners or foreign targeted attack, I very much disagree. I absolutely think that it 100% was a foreign targeted attack.
And you know what? We'll never know, because this will be swept under the rug.
But what I will say is that the potential for this kind of a situation to escalate and be more prolific is possible.
You know, we've said this for years now, and we saw it like towards the end of our careers in China. It was getting much, 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 much worse.
Yeah.
It's because they amp up the nationalism and the anti-Western stuff.
Also, I mean, remember, history repeats itself.
For sure.
And there have been various times throughout Chinese history where foreigners were targeted and murdered and expelled and what have you. So, I mean, it might just be that time again, you know, as history rolls around.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Let's let this finish. This disgusting... How many times do I have to shoot them? There's like 100 times.
It's a lot of times.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
want to laugh, but I can't. It's just so ridiculous.
Here's the thing. I do want to say that if you are somebody considering to go to China, maybe a student on like a foreign exchange program, if you have
exchange, there's 700 Americans in China, 700 American students, and 290,000 Chinese students in America.
Yeah, it's a one-way exchange.
Which I welcome that, but where's the exchange?
There is no
exchange. Only 700 Americans.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
Anyway,
it's a one-way thing. You're right. You're right about that, though. It's crazy when they talk about cooperation. It always seems to be one way. It's like, what can we get from you? You know, just ignore. We won't give you anything.
About, by the way, just because it's their initiative.
Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. If you have maybe a young teenager who's planning on going to study in China or do a gap year or something, I'm now at that point where I'm going to advise against it.
Me too.
Previously,
I wanted exchange before.
Yeah, previously I would say to people, hey, if you want to go to China, go ahead. Go have an adventure, you know, just stay away from politics. You know, you can still have a blast. It's still an amazing country to explore and all that. But I've reached a point now where in all good conscience, I cannot suggest for people to do that anymore.
Yeah, and just to cap that off, I want to say it's not even because of this new incident. It's just because of the serious escalation we've seen in nationalism get ramped up over the past 5 years or so.
Yeah.
It's been out of control.
Yeah, so that would be my advice is rather stay away,
you know,
for now.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, we're going to go into worldview.